Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All right, all of our guests today, including John Shannon, standing by, brought to you by the Whistler Golf Club for Al, Chris Manson and Company. Opening day 2024 today.
Oh, yeah.
And we wish them the best of luck. What a place to play golf. Rick, you had an update regarding the goaltending situation with the Canucks.
Yeah, Seelov's first goalie to leave the ice, which is an indicator that he will start tonight. No surprise, Don. I am absolutely not surprised. They're going to stick with the kid. They're going to give the ball to the kid to run with, and he's going to get ample time to play again tonight.
Joined now by NHL Analyst, co-host of the Bob McCown podcast, John Shannon. John, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I'm great. I am really impressed with Rick's playoff mustache.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck was my favorite, John.
Yeah, he's got the Hawaiian shirt on today.
Hold on. You said Tom Selleck. You said Tom Selleck first.
He said a lot of things today.
Just like you said Al Avocado. You know, this is unbelievable.
I meant Tom Selleck-like. That's what I meant.
Yeah, can't you get that, John? Come on.
Come on, John. Tom Selleck-like, Burt Reynolds, those were the guys with the big, thick mustaches. Donnie's got one. Look at this guy.
Yeah, not like those guys.
Yeah.
Or not like you. Hey, John, what's impressed you the most about the Canucks these days as they go into Game 2 against the Oilers up 1-0?
Resilience, I think. And all you have to do is look at 3 games in the playoffs so far. Game 1, the goals 12 seconds apart. Game 4 against Nashville, the end of regulation and the overtime. And then the 5 minutes in the third period against Edmonton in Game 1. This team is never out of it. And their resiliency is something that I think has become a huge positive for the hockey club.
You mentioned the resiliency, which leads to the subject of comebacks, and we saw a couple last night, although they ended up being unsuccessful. But comebacks they happen on a regular basis in the National Hockey League playoffs right now. That wasn't the case, John, 15, 20 years ago? A lot of NHL playoff hockey was boring. It was shut down. It was the dead puck era. How entertaining do you think NHL playoff hockey is right now versus not that long ago?
First of all, that's a $20 fine. You said NHL playoffs 4 times.
Oh, my God. I forgot who I was talking to.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on. Stanley Cup playoffs.
There you go.
And the answer is this is the residue of all the rule changes now that are 17, 18, 19 years old that happened during the work stoppage in 2005 that allowed for more power plays, that allowed for a certain style of game to be played, to keep teams in games for this very reason, and it's been a huge positive. That 2000 and I want to get it right here. 2004 Stanley Cup final, where Tampa and Calgary played, where there was not one lead change in 7 games. Not 7 games. Was the real catalyst for all of this that has helped the National Hockey League and helped all of this excitement, pure and utter excitement on a nightly basis. We were on the verge of having 3 consecutive Western Conference playoff games with at least 3 goal comebacks, except that Colorado wasn't able to finish it last night. That was because Jake Ottinger was so good.
Yep.
John, I watched a bit of the Leafs news conference this morning. Keith Pelly, Brendan Shanahan, Brad Treliving. What did you take out of it? They basically said this is not acceptable. The losing, there's possible big changes this summer. What was your takeaway from that press conference?
Well, 2 things. First of all, I think the organization was just hoping to stop the bloodletting.
Yep.
To get out of the press conference without any controversy. I think they succeeded at doing that. The other one was the affirmation that Brendan Shanahan is still the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yep.
And that was made quite clear by Keith Pelly to say that the hockey operations group is Brad and Brendan, and he's not going to meddle in it. He trusts them. And so Brendan has, the job, and he has the challenge of trying to put things back in order here, and it is going to be a tall task.
John, we have seen 18 coaching changes in the NHL in basically, I'd say, about 11 months. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Is it no patience from the owners, the presidents? Is it too many teams, not enough quality coaches? Are we recycling the same 7 guys? What is going on with all these coaching changes in the last 11 months?
I'm going to point at the owners, Rick. There was a time where owners owned, and they didn't meddle or get involved in hockey operations on a day-to-day basis. That was left to I used to call them the mandarins of the National Hockey League, Cliff Fletcher, Bill Torrey, Harry Sinden, Lou Lamoriello, all of these veteran managers and presidents of hockey that could manage up to their owner very well and then put everything in place in a proper way for their hockey groups. Well, now what you have is first of all, the money's a lot more serious, so it's important. I mean, when every time the Canucks go on the ice, you're putting $5 to $6 million at home into the coffers of the Canucks. It's big money. So now the business side is affected, but now we are seeing owners. And I would suggest there might be 26 or 27 owners that actually think they know a lot about hockey.
There you go.
And their impatience about it forces managers to make changes, forces managers out. And the problem is the way the collective bargaining works is you're not getting rid of the players as easily. You're not getting rid of the guy who's supposed to be the stable person within your organization, the manager. That puts all the onus on the coach. And to win now, and by the way, you don't get very much leeway anymore because we still want to make money and win next year too. Yeah. You better do it 2 years in a row.
And yet, John, the thinking is with the Vegas Golden Knights is that their owner, Mr. Foley, takes the right approach. He's very, very aggressive, and it's worked. And my understanding is that he's a hands-on guy.
And how many coaches have they been through?
Yeah.
Lots.
Multiple.
Lots.
But they won't. But they've got Stanley Cup.
And Kelly McCrimmon and George McPhee are given leeway to do things, to spend money, to turn over the roster. But there's accountability to it as well. And you're right. Bill Foley is I assume is a modern day sports owner, and it's his money. And it's his investment and his vision, so they better well be on board with him. But at the same time, there is something to be said for, okay, listen, I am going to hire the best person for the job. I'm going to enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I'm not going to stick my nose into something I don't really know very much about.
That's it.
Where do I send the $20 check to?
Just give it to the Canucks Children's Fund.
There you go.
We'll put it into charity.
Yeah. Perfect.
We'll do the Stanley Cup playoff jar right there. Put it right beside one of your beautiful mugs there, okay?
Yeah. Well, you watch our show. You know we're going to make mistakes, and that will be included among the mistakes. So Canucks for Kids Fund will benefit.
As long as Tom Selleck is beside you, you're okay.
Burt Reynolds.
Thanks, John. Next week.
Go with Tom. By the way, go with Tom Selleck. Okay?
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds. Go
Tom Selleck like John.
John Shannon joining us. Stanley Cup playoffs. I'll write a note to myself. Thanks, John.
Cheers, boys.